Welcome to Critical Hit, a Major Spoilers podcast. Thank you so much for downloading and sharing this episode with a friend. Oh, it is so good to be back with all of you again this week. We're all chipper. We've saved the region from all the plague stuff, the nasty things. Ah, it's smooth sailing from here on out, Rob.
Yeah.
Really?
It is. I guarantee you. You know why? Because Sam is our GM, and Sam, please carry on.
Oh, yeah.
To our rainbows and sunshine and lollipops.
And holding hands and skipping down the road.
Yeah.
You know, then you
And
just return to redemption and are hailed as heroes and live happily ever.
Yay! Thank you for joining us this week on Critical Hit.
It's a good one. Bye.
Last time,
On Critical Hit.
On Critical
you
Hit.
guys got a false sense of optimism. Some blood sacrifices were made. Some, decisions were not made, and you guys were walking through a swamp. And yeah, things seem to. It's pretty smooth. It's easy to find food, which is nice because you wake up and you're like super hungry especially after the ritual. And they actually, with the exception of the hanging judge, who is oddly full. Having had eaten a good berry in combat, which I don't even know that he's aware of. So, but the rest of you guys are super hungry.
Haven't been fed.
I'm gonna cast Cure. What do I have? Cure Moderate on my coat.
Oh, cool. To get it to.
There's a rip in the leather, and he just wants it.
Yeah.
Pulls out his patch
It's
kit.
to mend him, not itself.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's the Ronco Seal-O-Matic.
Cool. Yeah, the one thing that's a little bit tough going is that on the trek forward, like Alder and Dawn are just a little listless. But you think Shepard thinks they probably just need a fair bit of rest and maybe some meat. Which Eshin can provide the meat, and you guys can find a comfortable place to rest after a fair bit of walking. And the good thing is that even though Alder's kind of out of sorts, he still has that weird thing where shrubbery gets out of the way of him, so he doesn't trip over anything.
That's good.
Yeah, I'm short of blood, but
Did I get a chance? I had some ability damage.
Oh yeah. How much damage did you have?
2.
Cool. What? Was it all to one stat?
Yeah, it's 2 points to con.
Cool. That will have healed.
Okay, that's good.
And so yeah, you guys were able to, unless you want to discuss anything, get to the edge of the prickly pear forest fairly uneventfully.
Hooray!
Yay.
Is there any talkings that need to be going on?
Not to hear.
Yeah. We ride in silence for a day and a half.
Oh,
we
you're right.
walk in silence.
Yeah, because your horses
that's right.
are not here.
Horses are at the prickly pear
Take
forest.
turns letting Eshin carry us.
Sure. I can't imagine any of you being heavy enough to actually bother me.
There you go.
Especially with this nice new belt.
Russell's pretty heavy.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
At 5 foot?
I'm almost
Never
200
mind.
pounds.
There he is, 6'1". Okay.
he's pure muscle.
I was reading the size, not the...
At M.
Well, no, it's got his character sheet has size / face, so it said medium
yeah.
/ 5 foot, and I'm
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
5 foot, okay. And then the height, weight, I was like, oh, wait, never mind.
And Dawn doesn't want to be carried.
Yeah, I don't particularly want to
But
be carried.
Pupper,
She'll take a belly rub, but she doesn't want to be carried. Dawn gets disgusting. She just it's great. Shrubbery parts ways for Alder and Dawn then explicitly runs into it and just like rolls around in mud piles and gets like covered in things and keeps finding like dead animals that had been affected by the blight and like bringing them to you. It's awful.
Look, Brian, this was a pelican.
It's like, oh, that's just a wing. Oh, that's something. You're not sure what it was, but now she's rolled all over it.
It's like a pickle covered in cockroach farts. It's weird.
And then she wants to lick your face.
Ooh,
Well, sure.
Doggy breath.
Yes.
She's just a dog. Perfectly normal dog from South Carolina.
No.
That's how dogs look in South Carolina.
No.
I should want to know.
Yeah. You live in a swamp.
Hey, now.
Eshin at least understands that's not a normal dog.
That's how dogs should act.
Yeah, he's eating normal dogs. This is not a normal dog.
So yeah, you guys arrive at the edge of the prickly pear forest and are greeted by one of the saguaro, who gives a sort of wave to you, and the cacti seem to be doing much better. If anyone has ever grown or seen cacti, they can look like they're absolutely dead and then just come back at the touch of water, and that seems to have happened through this entire forest, basically. The plants that were drying up seem to be greening, and there's still patches that are some of the smaller plants, or like some of the bigger plants have like parts of them that seem to be flaking off, that are dry and brown, but for the most part you think that this is making a recovery.
Very nice.
Very cool.
And the saguaro will lead you to Knockley. She'll say, "You succeeded.
We did.
Congratulations. Thank you."
You're welcome. Now we still have some unfinished business back in Redemption.
Yes.
What do you plan to do?
Put a stop to Mr. Miller.
Yes.
I don't know if I speak for everyone, but I believe that I'm going to kill him.
I believe that is the plan.
Seems the most direct route.
Yes, at this stage we have to. Our real problem is actually dealing with the fact that we're going to be back in civilized society. People in towns with sheriffs don't take kindly to a posse showing up and killing one of their more prominent pillars of society. So we're going to have to come up with a way to get inside and do that. Plus, we don't know what we're going to encounter when we're there. I mean, he certainly knows.
Yes.
At this point, almost certainly. He's probably prepared for us. This plan sounds worse and worse as we speak of it.
Oh. I am very confident that we will succeed in killing him. I'm just not confident as to who's going to get to tell the tale about it.
Knockley says, "This incident has shown me I am too vulnerable. I cannot leave this place, but so long as there are humans here who seek to corrupt it, and the Calicians cannot be trusted, I will need assistance. Will you help me, Alder?"
Certainly, I believe that I can, yes. What sort of
Good.
help will you need?
a ambassador.
That does fall within my wheelhouse. Although I prefer the term champion.
Some of my Saguaro might fight you for that title, but I think you would win. Very well. You have no other obligations keeping you from being my champion, then?
Obligations are feckless things sometimes. I'm sure it will all work out in the end.
Deals with you are young and have lived among mortals. Deals with the Fae should not be made lightly.
This is true. Forget I said anything.
So you will not be my champion?
Well, that seems inappropriate as well. Perhaps we should hammer out the details at a later time. But yes, I believe we can come to a successful agreement, I'm certain.
Good. Return to me when you have killed your problem.
Did you still have our horses?
Oh, yes. She gestures, and Saguaro starts leading them out, kind of tentatively. One of the one of the horses looks like it wants to the Saguaro has a prickly pear kind of bit on its eyes, and one of the horses seems to keep trying to want to eat that, and the Saguaro keeps bristling up and shaking its hand at the horse. This is what's his name? What's Alder's horse's name again?
Wildfire.
Wildfire. Yeah, Wildfire is being bad.
He's being I believe the technical term is horse douche.
But yeah, the horses seem to have been well taken care of.
You do not want that job on the ranch.
Can we spend the night here?
I suppose it's not the most hospitable to your kind.
Oh, I see. Isn't Perdition like another half-day travel from here?
Yeah.
All right.
Will we still be welcome there after our last venture?
I don't know about you guys.
Ashton says, I'm sleeping on a rock either way.
I will look like perfectly ordinary human. And you wouldn't have a problem either. Just come into town without the mask on, you're fine.
Yes, I wonder whatever could be under your mask.
I don't think that was in character.
Yeah, that was definitely not in character.
Neither was mine. Oh, wait, crap, I used the voice. I divided by 0 and now I cease to exist. Crap.
Yeah, I mean, no.
Hey, that's 3 in one session. Now I'm crying a little.
3? I'm slow tonight.
So what do you guys do?
Well, we ride like kings on mighty steeds across the Devil's Plain.
So we're going to go back to Perdition?
Yeah.
All right.
What terrible things did we do in Perdition? I mean, we sort of kind of saved the town, didn't we?
You sort of kind of burned out an inn.
Yeah, we kind of destroyed the inn.
Shot it up.
Yeah. There wasn't
can't
much
have-
evidence that anyone else was involved. That's the problem. Is
Yes.
that, you know,
It wasn't us.
everything.
Ghosts.
I don't think anyone else saw any ghosts.
Yeah, the other side of the fight kind of dissipated into nothing. So it just kind of looked like a bunch of super weird guys rolled in, shut up the inn, and then rode out.
The ghost of a brothel accidentally lit the whole place on fire, and I don't know why you're looking at me like that.
Yep, pretty
Pretty
much.
much, yeah.
Ugh. Eh. We'll pretend to be a different group of guys.
Are you actually pretending? Like, are you trying to disguise yourselves in any way, or?
I don't know.
Dunno.
Should we?
No,
It-
deceit is not the best way to approach this.
There was only one inn in town, right?
Yeah.
And we,
Oh yeah,
we
it's
kinda
it's a
torched-
one
I think
it's a
we
one
were-
horse / in town.
Yeah, I think we were lucky it had the one in.
Yes.
So, what are we planning to do when we get there if the inn is gone? Are we just gonna try and crash in a stable?
Sure.
Well, the inn wasn't actually burned down.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, but she told us never to come back.
She might
I
have
don't
told you
think
that.
She may have cooled off.
Oh yeah.
Did she actually tell
Don't
us to
think
never
she
come back?
cooled off.
Uh,
Well, I think she implied strongly that we shouldn't. I believe her exact words were something like, "Get out."
I wanted to sleep on the cactus, but
Uh,
everybody's like, no, let's go to the
I
town.
just wanted to say you did.
I didn't say we needed to go to town. I was just saying it's only another half day and it's only midday.
all right,
All
you guys roll into a perdition. I'm calling it.
and keep on rolling.
Damn it.
Yeah, might as well head for the end.
Nelson,
Cool.
don't play around. We're going to head for the inn.
I got stuff to get to. So yeah, you roll into the inn, and the innkeeper is there, and she gives a, "Oh, you're back. Hi. Welcome back."
The judge look as sheepish as he can while wearing a mask.
So like the judge.
Pretty much.
No.
Ask.
Have you seen this? Have you seen this guy's bonuses? He looks terrifying and so sure of himself, and not at all like telegram operator. Obviously, Mr. Lee.
Certainly not. No. You notice you do never see them in the same room together.
And that's the thing, is you don't notice.
Yep.
So she's like, you same rooms again?
If you
Oh,
would,
just thank you.
that would
Yeah.
be lovely.
You got ghosts following you this time?
No, I believe we have dealt with the ghost issue in a rather meaningful fashion, and hopefully we've dealt with some of the blight in the surrounding lands as well.
And yeah.
Still, if when you go to bed tonight, just making a small ring of salt around your bed would not be a bad idea.
Great. Well, I'm still working on repairs from last time, so
I know a carpenter.
We do know carp.
great. That would be handy. I'll get some supper ready for you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Very much, thank you.
We should pay her extra, I think.
Agreed.
As she goes back into the kitchen, a woman who had been sitting by the bar looks over at you and says, "Oh, I think you should." She is on the taller side, wearing a kind of riding pants and black boots, a button down white blouse, and a jacket over it. looks like she would be ready to travel at a moment's notice. Says, "The hanging judge it is.
Detective.
Exciting." Yeah. Oh yeah. That is. Oh, it's great. It's easy for you because it's you've only had this work one time, and it's basically that in miniature.
Oh,
It's
good.
the
So it's only at like a slight nosebleed.
Yep. But it looks to you very much the same. It's like she has there's like this veiny corruption that's just all over her. And it's just not as insanely powerful as it was on Miller, but it seems to be almost the exact same type of corruption.
Mm-hmm.
Great.
I'll draw.
She sighs and like raises her hands. Really, I'm here as a envoy. That won't be
Okay.
necessary.
Well, I'll tell you what. You tell us what you're here to tell us, and it definitely won't be necessary.
All right. I'm here to discuss terms.
Terms of what?
Of a truce.
And what makes you think that we're going to be in any way interested in hearing what you have to say?
Because I think you don't want to have to deal with the challenge of trying to persuade, most of Redemption to do something that you don't really care about. You cared about, she like looks at Ashen. It's like, you're the lizard, right? The swamp? And then she like looks at Chema and says, or your relic. You won. Go on to your lives.
You're right. We have been. But sometimes missions don't end at the moment that you want them to end. There's always paperwork to fill out, contacts to pay off, cosmic
Loose
evil
ends
to
to wrap up.
dispatch.
Mm-hmm.
Cosmic? Oh, my boss is firmly grounded in this world.
We plan on making sure he stays well grounded. 6 feet down, grounded.
A wordsmith. You'll find he's not very easy to kill. But I think he'll do well by killing you.
I don't think you're anywhere near as confident as you want us to think. A man in a position of true power who is truly confident would not have sent his minion to try and convince us or drive us away.
Oh, I volunteered for this. I hear he's in the market for a new right-hand woman.
I see.
Mm-hmm.
And what exactly do you think happens now? What do you think will keep my associate Chema from literally shooting you to death at this very moment?
That he can't kill me?
You say that?
Yes.
With
With great confidence.
Oh.
And she looks as Emily comes back out of the bar with some bowls for you guys and says, also, I've given to understand you care about people. She like smiles slightly at Emily and says, do be a dear and sit down. And Emily just sits down. Now, I've answered a fair bit of your questions. Would you like to answer some of mine?
I feel quite confident in saying no, but feel free to ask.
Good. The only one I actually have any questions for is you. And she looks at the hanging judge. What did we do to get you to do this?
I don't like your dealings.
Why? Why not? Did we kill someone you cared about? Rob something you valued?
You've certainly killed people. No one personal to me, but it's still wrong, and it should be righted.
So what? Why not become a sheriff's deputy?
You know as well as I that they're in your pocket.
Well, they are now, I suppose. And what will you do? When you win? Will you go back to being whatever you were before?
Perhaps.
No, I think not. You've tasted power. You know, there are 3 sources of power in this world. The old magic of the earth, the dead, and faith. And you might not think it, but faith is where your power comes from. If there's no one you need to protect, if there's no one people pray for you to stop, you'll be nothing. Do you want to be nothing?
That would be quite pleasant.
To be nothing?
Be relaxing.
It'd be death.
A manner of seeing. I feel that's an eventuality any which way, so might as well try make something of it.
Disappointing. So what? You fight because we exist? Do you even know who we are? Do you even know why you're fighting?
I've learned a lot in the last couple days.
How about I make you an offer? You enjoy the thrill of the pursuit. I enjoy having someone to test my men. We keep doing this little dance. I rob some things, you shoot my useless agents.
Well, we'll see how long we have to keep dancing.
I'm going to take that as a tentative yes. So, and then you said you've got some paperwork to fill out. Go do it.
Oh, they won't let me back into the home office.
Well, then go retire somewhere. If you need money, we can provide that.
Oh, no, I don't care about money. That's why you are here, because your boss knows that. He knows that I don't care about money. He knows that I don't care about prestige or career. He knows that I've come to care about him. And he knows that he's not going to get me off his back.
Yes, you are always going to be the hardest sell, I suppose. Ah, no. Your swamp is clear. We'll make you an offer. Los Brazos is expendable. You, I'm guessing, want your land back. Wouldn't that make you a better, leader of your little tribe?
To let those that damaged them live?
So what, it's eye for an eye, tooth for a tooth? That's how your justice is? How did that go over for your last leader?
Not as well as preferred.
Good. Learn from your past. I recommend that, at least. And you, she looks at Alder. You've seen what we can do. We're not really responsible for the baseline problems of the swamp, but you were at the party. You recognized it.
Indeed. And There is something I would like for you to consider for a moment.
And what is that?
Well, primarily, that your bravado is both embarrassing and beneath even you. And
You don't even know
secondly,
who I am.
Doesn't matter who you are.
So then how do you know what's beneath me?
Ah, that's a good point. You may be lower even than I think, although I find that unlikely given the level of my disrespect. However, I want you to think for just a moment about the fact that you've told me that you cannot be killed, which in turn means that you can suffer and suffer and suffer. And since I was at that party and saw, I believe perhaps you will understand the depth of both my disdain and my uncharacteristic anger at this point.
She just grins, and she's got little fangs, and says, "Oh, you want to torture me? Oh, well, we might be closer to a deal with you than I even thought."
Hmm.
There's been some debate. The magic thing, it's not really my sphere, except for, well, the most basic gifts that my boss has given me. But there has been some debate over whether if when, unless, of course, that choice is really yours, there are other sites that will do. We kill your mother? If you'll turn into a tree to try to replace her, or become something more like, Miss, our dearly departed friend in the swamp. Which would you prefer?
Hmm. Do you find success with this type of psychological attack?
Oh, you'd be surprised.
I don't think I would.
As I say, this isn't my normal sphere. I don't normally deal with magic. Train robberies, banditry, the assassination of a targeted rival, and perhaps negotiation. I think I'm doing all right. I've got two of you doubting, and you, making idle threats of torturing me? I'm going to call this a win.
Feel free. Be aware that I do very little idly.
Oh, really? I was under the impression that you were just, a lazy teenage glorified assistant.
Oh.
But you could be more. You have power. You even have a wonderful evil laugh down.
You are not anywhere near as good at this as you seem to think.
Oh, then what? What are you going to do? As you said, torture me?
No, I think at this point you may take a message.
Oh, and what's that?
Run.
You're telling me to run?
I'm telling you to tell him, to tell them, to tell anyone. Run.
And you say, I have false bravado. How about this? I know a secret. You see, there was, at the party, some information gathered on both sides. And one thing that was noticed is that a certain someone, very prominent member of the town by the name of August Weskerly, left early and then left town.
The telegram operator?
Yes.
As busy as that town is, I'm sure people come and go all the time.
We've done a little bit of research, though, and I've figured it out. August Weskerly works for the hanging judge. And she looks at the hanging judge, grinning.
There are a lot of people that work for me.
Was a useful agent.
So, unfortunately, we still can't find him, but his assistant. If you get close to Mr. Miller, is a dead man. She, slightly, in a weird little caress, touches Emily's face. It's like, it's easy to take hostages. Do you still not plan on surrendering? You don't even have to surrender. You can just move on. We can have adventures, she says, looking at the judge. You could have training, and you could be a great leader. I think, there's no backing down, is there, for you?
No.
Well, then the death that follows is on your hands. She stands up.
Draw my gun.
Really? We're actually going to do this?
I assumed this was going to be how it ended up one way or the other.
No, I plan on leaving, going back to my boss and giving him my report. And yes, I suppose if you really insist on pursuing this, we will likely come to violence, but that doesn't have to be today.
I'll extend a hand to kind of stay the hanging judge. No, I think this inn has seen enough violence.
If you feel that's the best move.
I'll give a very slight nod towards Emily. I think people have seen enough here.
Very well. I'll holster.
Then, she will look to Emily and say, none of this ever happened. And she'll then turn to her and say, thank you very much for your hospitality, ma'am. I'll be getting on my way. And Emily says, you're welcome. Safe riding. And she turns and leaves. And anyone who is of redemption can make knowledge local checks.
Da-da-da! Hi there, I'm of Redemption. The Cisco is of Bajor.
What are we
The
making
Altor
knowledge
is
what?
of Redemption.
26?
Knowledge local, so just your intelligence, most likely.
Well, that's perfect
Yeah.
that the hanging judge just nails that. It's like, oh, you've never met her before, but you are certain that is Isabella Renfield. She is just known to be the leader of the Renfield gang. There's some rumors that it was once her husband, but he has not been seen in a long time. And since he disappeared and she took over leadership, the gang has been notably more effective. And yeah, you've never actually actively fought her, but any conflict where she is known to have been involved has gone very well, and often involving minimal resistance from people they were trying to rob, and if, say, they did get arrested, they all escaped to a man.
I was expecting that. Well, still hope we did the right thing there, Shema. I'm afraid we may have missed an opportunity to split some of their forces.
It's possible that you are right, and I don't know that there's much solace I can offer if that ends up being the case and it ends up costing us, but we have to remember why we're doing this, and to bring further problems into this place just seemed not the correct course of action.
Insult to injury, if you will.
Okay. Again, I will defer to your judgment.
It's a pun.
Yes. Well, let us eat, let us rest,
Mhm.
and we will head for redemption in the morning.
Yes.
Agreed.
See, Robin, you thought this was going to be like problems.
I could make it so I don't have any more problems.
I don't know that you can, actually.
Well, goodbye,
Yeah, you can, yeah, exactly. Go back to the swamp, take the deal.
Take the deal.
Yeah.
Nah. He wouldn't do that.
Just walk away.
He's not smart enough to do that.
Thankfully, he's bullheaded enough to see this through.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Bullheaded?
Well, I know that seems like a fairly short episode, but I think that is probably where we need to end it this week.
Mm-hmm.
Makes sense.
Yeah, boy. Scary times,
What a-
kids.
Yes.
I wonder how many
shit.
are going to sleep soundly, knowing what has just happened. Maybe you will sleep soundly. Maybe you will sleep soundly. And you, sitting there in the dark with your flashlight, hopefully you will sleep soundly. And hope that all of your dice rolls are critical hits.
This podcast is copyright 2017 by Major Spoilers Entertainment, LLC.